All right. Happy Monday, team. I'm so excited to be back here with you guys. I feel like it's been a season of just one thing after another. I know that a lot of you guys are facing different things on the team, and I want to say thank you guys for being flexible with me. As you know, that tragedy has struck recently, really close to home here for me and my best friend, and I've been trying to help her navigate that. And then we had the power outages. So if you don't live in California, let me fill you in on what happens in California now that we've had all these wildfires the last 5 years. PG&E now shuts off your power, and you have to live off a generator. And yeah, it's really fun. So you get wicked winds with extreme heat, and then they shut your power off. So that's fun, which means no Wi-Fi, and we do what we can. And the kids just started back to school, and my house, my oldest started high school, so we have high school football, and then we have youth football, which my husband coaches with my younger son, and then Jenna's in horse stuff, and my older son's in rodeo. So we are just going crazy. But it's really important, I think, that we continue to carve out this time together, because we truly are better together. And I don't know about you guys, but since we haven't seen each other, I miss this time where we can come together virtually, because even though we might not be together in person, I truly feel like we are better together. And so with that being said, I wanted to let you guys know we did get the elite report. We're currently ranked 218 out of 400,000 coaches. We do have a lot of work to do, though. And I did communicate that with some of the girls. At this point, minimum, we have to have 3 coaches that are my personally sponsored coaches, 2020 and 2021 hitting Success Club. And I hate to say it that way, but that's just the reality of it. We've already locked in our diamonds for the year. So we're good on that, right? Michaela got it. Miranda got it. My third CBC is super close. Oh, no, not Michaela. I'm just looking at Michaela right now. So that's why I said her. Jamie got it. And I know some of you guys have big goals, but I want you to take the stress of Success Club off of the table. And I want you to think about, what do you want? What is this business going to give to you? Because when I got started 7.5 years ago, I was just a mom who was working full-time with 2 small children, and I wanted to pay for my product. To be perfectly honest, that's what I wanted. And then once I started paying for my product, I was like, okay, well, it'd be really nice to pay for my husband's product too. Okay, well, it'd be really nice to be able to cover some credit cards. Okay, well, I'd like to be able to do a spontaneous date night, because even though my husband and I both worked, we were short on time and short on money. And then it was like, the more that I was invested in this business, I started to realize what was possible. I started looking at the Christina Delgados and the Mindy Hordes and the Becky Brosses and the Amy Coppolas and the Monica Lopez's, and saying, if they can do it, why not me? And I just never have taken my foot off the gas, no matter what's happened. And I'm super excited for our guest speaker tonight. And I'll give you guys a little intro in a second. But because when we connected, what I feel like our team's going through right now is exactly what she's going to talk about. And so whether you're listening to this live with us or you are listening to the replay, I want you to let go of all distractions, and I want you to try to get yourself in a position to be present. Because as you guys know, this business will transform your life if you put yourself in the middle of the bed. And so that doesn't mean pulling away when things get hard. I could build this business for the rest of my life alone, but I don't want to. You know why? Because we are better together. And I love the quote that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. And that's 100% going to be my mission for us for the rest of the year. Because I feel like we've been distracted. We've lost sight of working together. And I don't know if it's just easier to do our own things and get in, get out, press play on a workout. But for me, I miss that community. And we got a taste of it when we were at Summit. And I know it's hard with us, spread out all over, and the kids in school and all the things, but I truly think that we can do a better job. And for some of you, that might just mean starting over. And I want you to know that that doesn't mean that you failed, but I want you guys to stick to the vitals. That's so simple, right? If all you can do is show up for your workouts and then plug in 1 hour a day to fill out the business activity tracker, do that, right? I've been way more intentional with my work because I'm all over the place. But I want you to ask yourself tonight, and you can take a screenshot of this so you can come back to it later, but what's your vision? And I don't just mean for this year. I mean, when you close your eyes and you think about the next 10 years of your life, what do you want to change? What do you see happening? Who do you want to surround yourself with? What kind of business do you want to have? How much money do you want to have in your bank account? And I know people feel uncomfortable when we talk about income, but this is a real income, you guys. I wouldn't be home today with my 3 children without it. I wouldn't be able to afford the things that we're able to do. I wouldn't be able to take the trips that we're able to do. I wouldn't be able to let my kids so freely be involved in so many things because it is expensive without this opportunity. And yes, my husband makes really great money. And yes, I could have maybe survived on being a stay-at-home mom, but I never wanted that. I know that God has called me to serve women. And so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve you guys and connect with you guys and invest in you. And so next thing is, how are you showing up? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you proud of the work that you're doing? Because if you kind of sort of do things, you'll kind of sort of get results. That's in this business and that's in your fitness journey, right? I was sharing with somebody who was like, I just can't seem to stay sober. And I have 5 years coming up. I don't ever go off track. I don't ever say, okay, well, it's Friday night. My girlfriends are having drinks. I'll still go with my girlfriends while they have drinks, but I'm not going to veer off that just to fit into somebody else's status quo, right? That's the same with this business. I don't make it negotiable just because the world around me seems to be on fire. I keep my blinders on. Doesn't mean I don't sometimes get distracted, but I know how to stay rooted in this. And I'm a very self-aware person. I will gut check myself and be like, okay, the last 2 days you've totally sucked. Actually, my husband will check me too. Like, what are you doing? Because he believes in this business as much as I do, right? Because he knows how much it's changed our life. Number 3, how can you utilize the team? Are you pulling away and do you need to put yourself back in the middle of the bed and say, hey, I'm struggling here. You seem to have this figured out. Maybe we could work together. Or, hey, you've already hit Success Club. What are you doing? Right? You seem to have gotten to Diamond with a simple decision. What did that look like? You got to 2-star. How did you make that happen? Who did you talk to? What did those conversations look like? And then number 4 is, what is the story that you're telling yourself? Had a conversation with one of the girls this morning. I just sent her a good morning text telling her happy Monday, new opportunity. And first thing she said is, I really could use the income. I got to focus on Beachbody. And I said, so what's stopping you? I didn't say go do X, Y, and Z because I know she already has the tools to be successful. What's stopping you? And you know what she said? Fear of what other people think. So let's drop that. Let's say I'm not going to do that anymore because not only is this opportunity going to serve someone else, but it's also going to serve me too. Stop letting fear hold you back from what could be, because I promise you guys, the story that you're telling yourself is something that you're doing on your own. So I am so excited to hand the call over. Danielle and I connected because of this opportunity, and it was actually just a few weeks ago. So we don't know each other's story. We don't know each other very well. I actually have the honor and privilege of speaking to her team later on this week, which I'm super excited for. She's been a coach for 9 years. Okay, so she's not a newbie. She knows what she's doing. She's been around the block a couple times. And she's been in Success Club for 106 months. What does that tell me? That tells me that she makes a decision every single month, no matter what is going on in life, to show up for this business, right? I told you guys at the beginning of the month, August 1st, Stacy's parents got in a helicopter crash and died. By August 3rd, I locked in Success Club. Why? Because I knew I was going to need to be there for my friend. I knew I was going to need to be there for her kids. I knew I was going to need to be there for spontaneous walks and talks and texts and all the things. And I needed to take care of that first. And so I did. It's a decision, guys. It's a decision to serve others more than you're going to serve yourself. And I put this quote here, it says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in others. It is. Right? It's so easy for us to let anxiety and depression and all these things take over. Go pour out into someone else. I promise you it'll change your state. This morning at 5:30, I did not want to lead a power hour. 8 people got on this morning. Guess what? Changed my whole decision. They got on and I got to pour into them. I got my work done. And it was like, it was a gift for us all, right? So without further ado, I'm going to let Danielle just take this over.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm like loving all your visuals. I'm like loving all your visuals. Thanks so much, Melissa. And thanks so much for having me here, guys. Thanks for showing up early because I am on the Atlantic coast of Canada. We have a time zone that you guys don't even have in the United States called Atlantic Standard Time. So I appreciate it because I'm an old lady and it is past my bedtime. But you know what? It's so funny how Melissa said that. You know what? I scheduled before here instead of just like sitting and waiting. I scheduled one-on-ones with people that I knew were going to pour energy into me when I poured energy into them. Like my downline who were like, can we have a one-on-one? And the ones I knew who were not going to like show up with excuses, but looking for inspiration to go forward. I did those all night and I could probably run a half marathon with you, Melissa, right now. I have so much energy. And I really want to talk to you guys about energy, but I also want to talk to you guys about vision and belief. And thank you for the beautiful introduction. So I am an elite coach. I am, and our team is in a very similar situation with you guys so much. I think we're 186. And we've got everything locked in except for that last diamond. And it's like, I want to kind of talk to you about that first on behalf of your amazing leadership, because when it comes to pushing for team goals, I really want you guys to realize how much it is a team effort and how important it is for you. So that when you know how important it is, your piece of the puzzle, your brick on the wall, that you can also then in turn let your new coaches that you're bringing into this amazing team know how much they matter. And I remember, part of the reason why we hit elite last year is because I really focused on letting those people know that, like SC3 or SC4, SC5 you have just put a brick in the wall for your team. You have just nailed in that last board for that step for your team. Because I think so many times we get lost in a team, especially if there's a lot of people or if you're new, or sometimes like Melissa mentioned, if you've fallen off, it's not a failure. Every single time you make your goals in this business, you are helping your team as a whole come together and hit their goals. So know that you are such a major important part of not just your business, but your team. And get excited about that. Get excited about that to show up for yourself and to know that you are a part of something really big and really special. Okay. I know those are things that drive me in my business. I want to be a part of something. And I'm going through some personal coaching myself. And they're talking about like, why do we feel lonely? Like, why do we feel lonely? Anybody have like a great spouse? They love their job, their kids are great, whatever. And like, why do I feel lonely? Like, why do I feel lonely? Like, what's the matter with me? Like, what is this not enough? Am I not grateful? Why do I feel lonely? And the coach described it to me as there's 3 aspects that we need. One is like companionship, whether that be with a spouse or a really close friend or somebody, a companion in your life, whatever that looks like. The other one is community. You need to feel a part of a community. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking to you guys about, being a part of those team goals and how what you do matters so much, not just for your challenge group and your success club points, but this community that you are so grateful to be a part of, right? And the third one is legacy, which kind of goes right into that you're making an impact. So when you feel, a lot of us do get that part of this business because we do pour into others. We do realize that we're here to help other women, to show somebody who was us yesterday that they can just be where we are today. We don't have to be an expert. We just have to be on day 2 if they're on day 1. We just have to be on day 5 if they're on day 4, right? Or on month 109 if they're on month 108. That's it. And that's what makes you a leader, about just being here one day longer. Okay. So I really want you guys to know that as I kind of talk to you guys about belief and vision. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. Sorry if my accent comes out a little bit, because I am from the east coast of Nova Scotia. I'm originally from Cape Breton Island, which is a Scottish Acadian island. So I'm French and Scottish. And they would actually say I've lost my accent, which, trust me, all the coaches let me know that I certainly have not. I started this business on the very first day that Canadians could join. I knew nothing about it. I did not have a laptop. I did not have a smartphone. I had a peanut phone. I couldn't afford my own challenge pack. My daddy bought my challenge pack for me. And way back then, sister girlfriend, it was 365 American dollars, and it was one program. So you want to know how many Canadian dollars that was? That maxed out a $500 credit card. Okay. And it was one program. It was Les Mills Pump way back in 2012. And I joined and I jumped all in because I saw what was happening on Facebook as I stalked the American coaches. Because way back when, at 250 pounds, I knew I had to change something. I had a health scare. My husband and I were binge drinkers, heavy smokers, junk food addicts. My stepson was young. He was only, at that point, I don't know, maybe 12, or sorry, maybe 9 or 10. And we needed to show him a better way. Okay. We had a health scare and it scared us straight. Of course, I did the healthy part first for about a year, and then my husband hopped on board with me, of course, right? Because we are the leaders. You are a leader in your own household and you're a leader in your own life, right? So VHS, I started with Turbo Jam, and I realized that I didn't have to be self-conscious. I couldn't even walk around the block at age 30. And I was able to get in the best shape of my life with Shailene Johnson in my 900 square foot home, upstairs and down, by moving the old coffee table on a floor that was plywood, because we didn't even have flooring in our house. Okay. And I knew that I could do this because Shailene told me I could, because I finished that workout. So she told me I could do anything I put my mind to today. She told me I could get through anything that the day had ahead of me. She told me that anything that I imagined, I could go after if I was just willing to work hard and go through the rough times, just like I just did that rough workout. And I believed her. So I jumped into this business. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know my upline. I was just like one of those unicorns who came in and was like, hi, I'd like to join your team. She sent me a link. And then I did the training, which I really just cried in the closet because I didn't know what I was doing. And I just tried to figure out a way to do it. I messaged her, I don't know, 2.5 months in, after hitting Success Club 10 every single month. I didn't even know what I was doing. And I said, I'm going to go diamond tomorrow. And then I got her attention. She was a big timey coach. Did I? She was a big timey coach. I was just like this little Canadian who was hitting Success Club, and she had all this influx of probably 100 Canadian coaches at the time. And then I got her attention. I didn't even know what Success Club was, and I hit Success Club 50 in 3 months, not even knowing what it was. Because all I knew is that if people wanted to get the same results as I did, inside and out, not just the weight loss, inside and out, but they were going to need the same programs and products that I was using. Like, if you want that page, if you want your butt to look as good in those jeans as Katie's butt looks in her jeans, and she says, oh, I got these at whatever studio and you go to Walmart, don't expect your butt to look the same in those jeans as Katie's, because she went to whatever studio for those jeans, right? So it was the same sort of thing. If people wanted the same results as I had and feel as I felt, they were going to need to use the same programs and products. So I was going to talk to, in person, on the phone, anybody who would listen to me. So I could pay back my dad that $500. So I could sign my husband up as my very first coach, because that's what I was told to do. And I do what I'm told to do because I'm not the successful one. They're the successful one. And success leaves clues. And he was fighting on me and I did it. And now he has a paycheck that he just like, is like, oh, I'm such a good coach every week. And I'm like, yeah. Right? 9 years later. So that's a little bit about my story. I have rebuilt my team 4 times. I went 5-star in 2015, 5-star again in 2017, 5-star again in 2019, and 5-star again last year in 2020. I then opened up my second business center, made that 2-star, and I'm very similar to Melissa, just went 1-star in my 3rd CBC this year. So our team really exploded, but it was because of consistency and growth over time. And the reason consistency is so important, especially through the hard times, and if you are not going through a hard time right now, it sounds like you guys have a lot on your plates. Take COVID away from it. Take this world, take politics, take the darkness, take all of that away from it, and you are still going through something in your own personal life with either relationships or a personal struggle inside of yourself right now. Everybody is. Don't think anybody is immune. Like Shanti always says, if you're not going through a storm right now, brace yourself. It's coming. Okay. So I do have some tips for you guys in going through this, but I'll tell you what's always gotten me through my storms. And I've had many. I could have quit many, many times. First of all, I want you to ask yourself when you get to that point, how many people have ever been like, I'm just going to step away from coaching. Just be honest. You know what? I just can't. I'm just going to, that's it. I'm just going to do something else. I'm going to work outside the home again, or good for you, Melissa, or I'm going to just press pause, or I'm just going to take the summer off, or it's December, I'm just going to coast, or whatever it is. And then you get to that point where you're just about to pull the plug on that decision you made. And you have to think to yourself in that moment, what am I going to accomplish by backing away? What are my dreams? What are my goals? What are my visions? What do I want for myself in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years? Why did I even start this? Because I wanted something different for myself. So if I back away, if I take my eyes off of my vision, my goals, and the beliefs that I have and what I want for myself, is that going to serve me in any way? And the answer is no. The only way to make sure that you are not successful in this business is to quit. So that's off the table. We got that out of the way, right? That's the only way to fail, right? And even if you do, you can come back and that's not a failure. Do you know what I mean? But who likes starting over again from that level, right? So let me talk to you about this. 4 times I have gone through my team completely crumbling. Like I'm talking star diamonds who aren't even customers. Do you know what I mean? Like it happens. I'm not going to say it feels good. I'm not going to tell you that it's not a crappy day for you, but it happens. It's going to happen to you and it happens to everybody, right? Yeah, Melissa's had it happen too. So you move on and you bless and release it and you work through it and you focus forward. So many people let no's deter them, or somebody else giving up on their goal or their vision of this business deter them from moving forward. And the only thing that does is the person who quit on themselves gets to say, see, she quit too. I knew I was right. And they're not. Both of you end up being wrong instead of just one person being wrong, right? I have gone through a cancer scare. I have gone through my son, who's now 24, at age 18, decided I wish I had a story to tell you about this. But we don't have one. Decided that he was never going to have anything to do with his father and I again. 5 years later, not happy birthday, not happy Mother's Day, not Merry Christmas, nothing. Complete estrangement. We have no idea what happened. Okay. I almost had a nervous breakdown twice through that. Can you imagine? Parents here, you like stay up at night and you worry about your child being bullied. You worry about your child getting sick, getting hurt, getting in a car accident, something happened to them. It's not even on the radar of things that you imagine happening. So it's not something you can process. I reached my goals and made Success Club 10 through all those months. My mother-in-law recently, just before COVID, dropped dead in a mall, brain aneurysm. Do you know what I mean? I'm not telling you all these things for like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just telling you, it happens. My husband, right? So like, I could have sat back and done nothing with this business because my husband had an amazing corporate job, 6-figure job, great benefits. I came home from my run 3 months ago. He was let go. That's it. Done. Gone. Everything gone. He had a mental breakdown where I was on suicide watch for 4 weeks recently. Like, honest to God, these are the things that people are like, but no, this business has saved my life, ladies, through absolutely, the only reason I tell you these vulnerable things, and there's people on my team who don't know these things, okay? Is because I want you guys to know that this business will save you. Your team will save you. This community will save you. So what do I do during these really, really hard times to show up for my business? I created something called a to-do list. I'm the first person to tell you guys that business activity tracker is the most incredible, simplified way to meet your goals. We didn't have the business activity tracker. We were thrown out there. It was like, figure it out, sell your child's pack. It was like, figure it out, right? They have done so much. And you know what? Sometimes we love to complicate this business. But as wonderful and as simple as that business activity tracker is, sometimes when you're in a season of hard, it still becomes a little overwhelming. So this is what I like to do. I created a to-do list. Ta-da! I got it done. Not to do, ta-da. And this is what I say to you. You have to do, there's 3 categories on your to-do list, okay? Category number 1 is an income producing activity, okay? Which means an invite, a follow-up connection, right? So hopefully that's invite and follow-up. You pick your number, right? Maybe on Monday it's invite and follow-up. Maybe the next day it's connection and follow-up. But you have to pick 2 income producing activities. The second part of your to-do list is pick 2. Do your workout, drink your shake. Follow your nutrition plan, drink your shake. You need to work on you. Okay? You need to work on you. And naturally, I don't think I have to put it on your to-do list that you share that on social media, because that's just copy and paste. If you look at my post today, because we were running the roads, is literally copy and paste what I put in my challenge group. I posted on my Instagram and Facebook. Today was not a super creative day. I did a really cute reel yesterday. It was Sunday. I was in the park, right? Like, today was not that day. It was rainy. I was stressed. I was sweating. My dog was on me. Like, today wasn't that day. Today, my post on social media, other than my stories, was exactly what I did for my check-in. Okay. So know that part and parcel goes along with it. The third section of your to-do list is your personal development. And make that number 1. Okay. So that means I need you to do something that's going to fill your soul. And I need you to reach out and fill somebody else's soul. So whether that be your success partner, whether that be a coaching pod you're in, your group, Maybe it's sharing a recipe. Maybe it's sharing a podcast. Maybe it's going and checking in on a challenger and sharing a YouTube video with them, or an inspiring quote you found on the internet that really spoke to you that day. I want you to share your personal development. I want you to do your personal development, and then I want you to share that personal development. And then ta-da, you have 6 quick little things that have moved your business forward with consistency, that is based on your personal, your mental, and your business journey in a way that you can continue to do that through a season of struggle. Whether it's like just the fact that things are crazy right now, and that you're coming at a lockdown, or you're getting back into school, or everything's happening, or you're going through a personal storm, or you're sick, or you're taking care of somebody who's sick, or something serious has happened, where you can show up so that you don't lose that momentum. So the last thing I'm going to share with you guys is having that belief and imagination, so that you have that to-do, you want to make that to-do list, so that you're not like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like brushing my teeth. I don't feel like doing my taxes. I don't feel like doing the dishes. I don't feel like doing anything. The only thing I feel like doing is taking a bath and watching Queen of the South. Do you know what I mean? But guess what? That's not good. Do you know what I mean? Other than I'm like really clean, except my brain. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about not worrying about what you feel like, but you need that long-term vision and belief. So maybe you're in a place right now where you're really finding it hard to tap into that. Maybe you can't even remember what your vision and belief was when you started this business. Maybe today is your very first day in this business, and you're petrified and you're feeling overwhelmed, and you're like, what? Everybody around me is telling me this is ridiculous, and oh, I hope it works, and do you know what you're getting yourself into? And they're not on this call. And even if they were, they wouldn't get it. And PS girl, they don't have to get it. I'm the most successful of all of my mother's 4 kids. And she shared my post the other day for the first time in 9 years. For the first time in 9 years. She's a lovely, lovely woman. She just doesn't get what I do, and I make her uncomfortable. Okay. And that's okay, because she doesn't have to get it for me to be successful in this business. But I want you to reach out to somebody on your team, reach out to your upline, reach out to another coach that you're inspired by, and get to know their story of this business, and get to know what it has done for them. Borrow their story, borrow their belief, borrow their dream, and find your own within it. Right? Find your own within somebody else's if you can't find your own right now. I'm going to tell you what mine is. My coach, after I got her attention, you can imagine I did, I was making great Success Club numbers in the 50s and 60s, and rank star diamond rank advancing. And she took me to, I think it was leadership or some sort of event. And I was so excited because my dad she was paying my ticket into the place. My dad paid my plane ticket down there, but I was making I think I made $500 that week, which was a big freaking deal for me and my family. It was a huge deal for me and my family. It still is now. Do you know what I mean? Huge deal for me and my family. And I was checking my phone at the time to see if, because truthfully, I didn't know how I was going to eat the rest of the trip if my check didn't come in. And she checked her check next to me. She's like, do you want to see? I was like, oh, yeah, I want to see what your check is. And that day, she had $65 in commissions and $22,000 in Team Cycle bonus. I'm going to say that one more time. She had $65 in retail commissions and $22,000 in Team Cycle bonus. And I was like, I better get to work. Giddy up. And I borrowed her vision of what is possible. Even when after that, I was making enough to quit my job. And then I wasn't, because 2017 came around, if any of y'all were around. And I was making like $400 a week, and my husband lost his job at that time, and it was crazy, right? I rebuilt because I knew that she made $22,000 in 1 week. And even when it dropped again, I rebuilt because nothing else was going to make me $22,000 in a week doing something that I love on my own terms with the people that I love, doing something that I love, that I'm so passionate about. Nothing was going to get me there unless I kept going forward. So I want you to find your belief and your vision. And like I said, borrow somebody else, borrow this story if you want. You know, find somebody that inspires you. Because trust me, this girl had gone through bankruptcy twice, divorced, came from a town of less than 1,000 people, had nobody on Facebook, grew up in a broken home, and she made this happen for herself. Do you know what I mean? And I was inspired by that because I didn't go through any of those things. I had lots of blessings in my life, and I knew I could go forward. So I want you guys to hold tight to the reason you started this on day one. And if this is your day one, I want you to have that long-term vision and belief. And know that the only way to fail is to not keep going forward. And if you can't go forward 10x, that's okay. Make your to-do list with your 6 things and do it at your own pace and hold your head high. And don't feel guilty about having a to-do list, because it's even more exciting than a to-do list, because you can do jazz hands with it at the same time, because it's a to-do list. It's a to-do list. And thank you guys so much for having me on this call. And if there's any questions at all, I am an open book and willing to share.
So that was freaking incredible. Like,
sorry, it was a little overshare. I apologize.
No, incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I really think that so many people needed to hear that right now at this very moment. And maybe it's what's going to carry them through this season. Because just like, Danielle said, you guys, at any point, whether this is your day one or you're just recommitting because you've sat back, you always have a seat at my table. And Kristen knows because she's been with me for a really long time. My thing is if you need to get off the train and take a pit stop, you're welcome to get back on it anytime. But our team train is going to keep moving. Why? Because my legacy is being built right now. And I have 3 kids who depend on me. I want to be able to take care of my dad one day, because for so many times, like Danielle, my dad was I was 22 years old with a baby, and he was wiring me money because we couldn't afford our $650 rent. And now I look at our life and I'm like, holy smokes. And I remember so vividly praying one day and just asking God, like, carry us through this season. And him just saying, like, I've already carried you through so many. You've already been through so many miracles. Stop and appreciate where you're at. And I want you guys to really think about that. And this quote is something that I've been loving, is it says, it's easy to overestimate what you can do short term and underestimate what you can do in long term. Focus on the process of going to bed better than you woke up. Little by little becomes a lot.
Wow.
Little by little becomes a lot, right? I don't know about you guys, but that to-do list sounds a whole lot more doable than saying I have 25 tasks in front of me and how am I going to get them done, right? I text Katie this morning and I said, here's 3 simple things to focus on. 3, that's it, not 23. And it's taking care of yourself. It's drinking your water. It's pressing plan your workouts. It's sticking to your nutrition plan. Okay, maybe 4, personal development, right? because when you feel good, it becomes infectious. That's why I built this business. I knew I could not keep this to myself. I knew that the elephant that was sitting on my chest for so long was starting to lift, and I wasn't drinking myself into oblivion every night because I wanted to stick to those freaking yellow containers. I had something to focus on, right? I borrowed that belief of my coach. And yes, she was a party girl and that attracted me to this business. And now I mentor women who want to transform and get healthy from the inside out, including sobriety. It's just such a crazy gift that this can become anything that you want it to be. And just because I'm sober, you never have to be sober. Not everyone has a drinking problem. I did. Insert disclaimer. But just honestly, just ask yourself, like, why am I here and why am I still here? Why did I choose to listen to this replay? Why did I choose to get on this live call? Because it was for a reason, right? There's something deep inside you that's saying, what if this works? What if I just keep showing up? What if I keep pressing play? What if I keep listening to that personal development? Melissa, keep sending me these podcasts. Maybe there's something to it. I promise you, borrow that belief. Dig deep into your why and keep focused on your vision. And just like Danielle and myself, it'll transform your whole life, right? She just told us some of the most intimate things that have happened in her life that would break people. And she's still here. So why not you? Do you guys have any questions for her? I know that's always like the awkward silence part.
It's all good. It's always awkward silence on my team too, but I am an open book. And if you don't have any right now and something comes up, just find me on Instagram. I'm Danielle Melanson. If you type in Mermaid Melanson, I pop up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're super grateful for you guys. I will get the recording up and I'm looking forward to speaking with your gals in 2 days.
Yes, on Wednesday. Thank you so much for having me, guys. And thank you, Melissa. And we can't wait to have you on our call too. And any of your girls who may have not made it tonight, who want to hop on Wednesday night, I know it's
Amazing.
early for you guys. The more the merrier. Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Good night.